All right, we're ready to begin with Alabama. A couple of reminders, the locker room is open at this time. And also, video is not permitted in the interview area. If you need video, you can secure that down the hall in the distribution area on the left. So we'll begin and ask Coach Oats for just a couple of general thoughts on the game. Then we'll take your questions for the student athletes and excuse them back to the locker room, and then finish up with Coach. So would you begin?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to win a tournament, you're going to have to do it in different ways. We've said that. We found different ways to win. You know, today wasn't our best. I thought we came out of the gate fairly strong again, but then defensively we let down the end of the first half. Beginning of the second half, we weren't great. We were forced to call the timeout on the inbounds play. I think we got after our guys a little bit. They responded well. You know, and it wasn't just not making shots. I know we didn't shoot it very well in the first half. I think we were 2 of 15 from 3, and I think Clowney had our only 2 makes. So, you know, he's a confident kid. We try to pump our guys full of confidence. He continues to shoot, even if he's had games where he's gone through a lot of misses. Today he ends up 3 of 6, and I was happy as could be for him. You know, Mark's struggling to shoot a little bit. JQ didn't make any. We're going to pump them full of confidence. We keep telling our guys we're never passing up an open 3. So then in the second half, you know, I think we ended up 6 of 12 from 3, helped us kind of go from a 4-point deficit up to where we took the lead. I think we're up at 13 1 point. So we out-rebounded them by 16, and they're a good team. Offensively, they do a great job. But I thought our defense at the rim, you know, they finished 13 of 27 at the rim, under 50%. We were 19 of 23 at the rim, shot 83%. So even if we're not making threes, and to be honest with you, we had way too many turnovers today, we still have other ways we can win the game. On the glass, finishing at the rim. You know, we did a decent job getting the free throw line there late. But, you know, I mean, it's a game of runs. It's a game, you know, if you're going to win 3 in a row, you got to find different ways to win it. You know, I was told Brandon now owns the freshman record for scoring. He's got 645 points. Broke Colin Sexton's record. Colin Sexton had a pretty good freshman year. He's having a great NBA career. So I want to congratulate Brandon on that. It's a big deal. I mean, he's played really well for us. We've been moving the ball well. I wasn't happy with our turnovers today, but, you know, yesterday we had 21 assists. Today we had 18. So I think guys are being unselfish. The ball's moving. We're finding guys at the rim. If we could actually made a shot today, you know, we would have had 20, mid-20 assists. So happy with the unselfish play. Got a bunch of really good kids pulling for each other. I thought some guys turned down some shots, even that I'd like for them to take. And then lastly, these SEC championship games don't come often. So, you know, last time we were up here, it was COVID year, limited amount of fans. I just encourage all the Alabama fans, all you Alabama reporters, let's try to get it out. Let's try to pack this place full of Alabama fans. It's not that far of a drive. Tipping off at noon tomorrow. Let's get as many Alabama fans as we can up here to Nashville and support us in the championship tomorrow, because these aren't easy. I mean, they're not easy to make it to. We had 2 tough games to get there, and we're going to have a really tough game, whoever we end up playing tomorrow. So, you know, I don't, you know, if people ask me who do I want to play, I don't think that's a good question, because whoever I want to, doesn't matter. It has zero effect on the game, so we're going to play whoever wins. But we haven't beat A&M since I've been here. We're 0-3 against them, lost to them our last regular season game. They're good, they're tough, they cause problems. We beat Vanderbilt twice, but they're playing their best basketball right now. They're playing really well, and, you know, they say it's hard to beat a team 3 times. So either way, it's going to be a tough game, but we're looking forward to it tomorrow.
All right, let's take questions for either of the student athletes. Let's start right in the middle on the front row.
Brandon, this is for you. You got the 3rd foul pretty early in the second half. What adjustments did you make offensively, and how did you get yourself into a rhythm to finish the game strong?
I really feel like my teammates really just built the confidence in me just to be able to take over a game. So I feel like my teammates just kept putting little words in my head just to build my confidence.
Raise your hand if you have questions. Let's go to the far left on the front row.
Yeah, no, I mean, the last month or so, I think you've been really frustrated on offense. Obviously, the defense has still been good, but how did it feel to kind of go out there and have a great offensive performance today, like we kind of saw earlier in SEC play?
I work on it a lot, so when it does fall in game, yeah, I mean, it just felt good.
Raise your hand. Other questions? All right, let's go back to the left on the front row.
Yeah, no, for you again. A lot have been said about Kobe Brown. He didn't play last time against you guys. First team All-SEC player. You were all over him all game. I think he played 32 minutes and only had 6 points. You know, what do you kind of think that says about your defensive performance today?
I think he's a great player, but as far as defending him, I think it was a 5-man deal. A lot of the things we do incorporate other people on the floor just to defend one player at times, and I think we as a team did a great job on him.
All right, let's come to the front row in the center.
Brandon, it looked like you were getting into the crowd, and the crowd was kind of getting you jacked up. What did it mean to have so many Alabama people here in Nashville? It looked like a home game. It sounded like one.
I love it, man. I feel like we have probably the best crowd in the country. I mean, for them to come from Tuscaloosa to Nashville, I feel like that's probably the biggest thing I've seen all year, you know. So I feel like that's the best thing. I feel like they're here for us, here to see us play. So we feed off them, and they give us the energy that we need.
We got time for one more question for the student athletes. Let's go to the center aisle on the end.
Just for Brandon, Coach mentioned it in his opening. You passed Colin Sexton as the leading scorer as a freshman. Just what does that mean to you? I know you're a humble guy, but.
I mean, it's a great accomplishment, but without my team, I wouldn't have done it without them. Just them building my confidence, like I said. I mean, just them being here for me, just really build my confidence to, you know, break records like that. So that's the biggest thing.
All right, we'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach. Let's go ahead and start right on the end of the front row.
Yeah, Nate, you talked about how good they are offensively. I think number 7 in offensive efficiency. What were some of the points of emphasis for your defense in this game, and what do you think the team listened to well that you had suggested?
Thought we had a good plan for Kobe Brown. You know, obviously Kobe Brown and Hodge have been their big scorers, so you know, we didn't do as good a job on Hodge, but thought we did a pretty good job on Kobe. You know, number one thing is getting back in transition. This team likes to run just like we like to run. So, I mean, if you look at the fast break points, they still ended up with 18. Now, a lot of those came off turnovers. We had too many turnovers. You know, we made a big point of emphasis on not turning the ball over because it feeds their transition, and we didn't do a great job. But in the half court, I thought we did a really good job. You know, I thought Brandon did a great, Charles did a great job protecting the rim. Thought Brandon, Clowney, and Gurley did a pretty good job. You know, when we got switched on to Kobe Brown, and we forced them to take rim shots. I mean, you know, the threes, they shot 13 of 27 at the rim. They shot 3 of 16 on their non-rim twos. We wanted to run them off the three-point line. They like to shoot a lot of threes like we do. Still feel like they got too many up, but, you know, they ended up 7 of 25. But I felt like defensively we were able to influence their shot geography the way we wanted it more. Push him down to Charles when he was in, make him take the long contested twos, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. So, you know, field goal percentage, defense, ours has been pretty good. It was pretty good on the game. They only shot 33% from the field, so I thought we did a good job of that.
Right, let's keep the microphone right here on the front row. Go ahead.
You were pretty animated today, especially in the first half, you know, stomping your feet and getting after players. It seemed like offensive execution was what you were getting after them about most. Can you just kind of take us into what you were seeing?
Thought our offense was pretty bad at times early. We weren't aggressive enough. We talked about our plan versus their switch. I didn't think we were as locked in as we needed to be against their switching. You know, and yeah, we need to play. I mean, we need to play more aggressive on offense against the switching. I thought it was too passive. You know, we'd come off, they'd switch, we'd back it up, we'd sit there and dribble for a while. It's not the way we want to play against it. So, just trying to get our guys to be way more aggressive. I thought Jaden Bradley came in and was pretty aggressive for us early. And I thought he helped. He gave us really good minutes. You know, and JQ and JB, I mean, those two guys, it's good that, you know, when one maybe struggles a little bit, the other one's better. And JQ, I thought, had a really good second half with his assists. He didn't score it well today, but he ended up with 7 assists and only 1 turnover. So, you know, he did play well. just didn't score it as well as we like, but I thought Jaden did a good job coming in, being aggressive against some of the switching.
Okay, let's come to the front row. Red shirt.
Coach, two-part question about a couple of guys. I thought Noah Gurley made maybe the biggest shot of the game, the three to extend the lead back out to 9, and he had 5 big points off the bench. And then also Sears, I know he hasn't been shooting it from 3 as well, but he manufactured 9 points.
Yeah, Gurley is now 4 of 5 in the tournament from 3, which is huge. All the work that he's put in, even when he wasn't playing a ton, just kept working. It's paying off, and we needed it. So what that 3 hit, what did that put it from what to what? Do you remember?
I believe it was 9.
It went from 9 to 12? It went from 6 to 9? That was big because they cut that thing. Was it 6 was the lowest? They cut it once we built it to 10. I mean, it seemed like it was getting too close for comfort, and he stretched that thing out a little bit. I thought he played great on defense. He gave us, he almost played 20 minutes tonight. So really happy for Noah, his character and attitude, his leadership. I went up and grabbed him. I said, look, man, your leadership's been great all year. We need you to lead on the floor. Your leadership in the timeout's been good. We need you to do some stuff on the floor, get a big rebound, make a tough play. So he did that. Sears, there's no way he goes cold from 3 games in a row, I hope. I mean, he's shot it well for us all year. What was he, 1 for 8 yesterday, I think? So he's 2 for 17 in the tournament. He's way too good a shooter. I thought his 3 hit was timely, though. He went to the free throw line. He didn't let the fact that he wasn't making threes mess with his head at the free throw line. He was 4 of 4 at the line, and he was still able to get downhill, and finish it. The one finish he had at the rim in the first half. So he's a tough kid. He was good for us on defense. I'm pretty confident he'll start making some shots tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay, let's go to the second row.
Nate, obviously Missouri got to this point after finishing 13th last year. Vandy and A&M are here, and teams like Kentucky and Tennessee are out. What does that kind of say about the SEC's growth the last few years?
I think it says we're a deep league. I mean, it used to be 1 or 2 teams at the top that were really good way back when, before I got here. But, I mean, you look at the job Coach Cates has done at Missouri, unbelievable job. He's brought in a fun style offensive play. I mean, they're top 10 in the country in offensive efficiency. Buzz obviously knows how to win. He's won everywhere he's been. I think the caliber of the coaches that have been brought in this league, and I haven't been in this league very long, but every night out, you're going against one of the best coaches in the country, it seems like. I think Stackhouse has done an unbelievable job with Vanderbilt. I mean, you go from when we beat them at our place, they turned around, strung off, I think, 5-6 straight wins. He almost got to the end of February without a loss. So for him to hold the team together, and he offensively, he's really good. I mean, his time in the NBA and the G Leagues helped him. So you look at the caliber of coaches we've got in this league. The teams are good. The athletes are great. I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like there's as many pros out of this league as there is any other league in the country. We got some of the best athletes in the country to go along with some of the best coaching. Well, you're going to have pretty good teams when that happens. So hopefully we can translate that into some NCAA tournament wins and get a few teams making some deep runs here in March.
Okay, going to take 2 more questions. Let's go to the second row, and then we'll finish on the first row.
Nate, I understand the gun laws in Alabama allow somebody to have a gun, and on campus that you can't have a gun. But I'm just wondering do you know which of your players have guns? I mean, are they required to register them with the athletic department, or just to?
Yeah, look, our players know the university policy. To my knowledge, not one of them has a gun now, but it's all the current players on our team have followed university policy with all of that stuff. So I think that answers the question.
Hey, last question on the front row.
Can you talk about your three-point shooting mentality? You actually missed the first 5 of the second half. You were 2 of 20. Then you hit 6 of your last 7 threes when the game was on the line. And even Sears, his big one, he was 0 for 8, and he knocked one down at a key time.
Yeah, look, we kept saying every time out, we are not turning down an open catch and shoot 3. I thought there was one of our kids took was a little questionable in the first half, off the dribble, highly contested. I'm like, we're not taking those, but any of you shooters get it open, catch and shoot three. I don't care what you are, 0 for 6. Like I was upset that Quinterly turned the one down there late in the game. We ended up with a poor shot at the end of the shot selection. Look, my philosophy is shooters are going to shoot. They need to shoot. I need to pump them full of confidence. I am never second-guessing an open catch. Obviously, a late game, maybe in the last minute, when we were telling them we're only taking free throws and layups, we're not going to take one. But in the course of the game, Sears, Quinterly, Clowney, Brandon, I don't really care what they're 0 for 6, we're taking them. So, and I think you see what happened. I knew we were 2 for 19, so we were 2 for 20 at one point. We're going to hit them. And you know what? I tell them if we're not going to hit them, we're going to go kill them on the offensive boards and go get some long rebounds and beat them that way. But we also know we can score at the rim. I mean, we made 19 field goals at the rim. So I think the fact that everyone knows we're capable of exploding from three, you still keep the defense spread out, able to get downhill the rim, score 38 points right at the rim. That was big for us tonight too.
Thank you.
Thank you.